Call me a grumpy old man, but I had thought that this year of all years we might at least escape the Eurovision Song Contest. In fact, the contest was cancelled, but still on our screens tonight we've had wall-to-wall Eurovision. Now don't get me wrong, I like a catchy tune, but there is just something about Eurovision. It always seems to me so contrived. Not least, of course, the voting, but at least we were spared that this year. What it lacks is authenticity, a wonderful word, a word about being true to ourselves, not something the music business has always been noted for. But I did come across a feel-good film this week, Fisherman's Friends, not about the lozenge made down the road in Fleetwood, but rather the story of a folk group based in Port Isaac in Cornwall. They played for their own pleasure until they were discovered by someone from the music industry. Many of his colleagues rejected them as not suitable, not marketable, but their very authenticity proved to be their greatest selling point, and they've continued to make a mark in the folk music world. Because, as the people of Port Isaac and the fishermen of Port Isaac, they represent the history and the life of their community. They are authentic. On this sixth Sunday of Easter, we think of Rogation Tide, a traditional time to remember the beginning of the harvest and the link between our lives and the land, a link that we've lost over the years. It also marks the end of Christian Aid Week, when we think of those around the world far more closely associated with the land than we are. This year, the focus is on the people of Kenya suffering from a drought which has gone on well over a year. Nature has a way, though, of breaking into even our lives, as we have discovered in the last few months with the coronavirus. Climate change or coronavirus, the power of nature is never far away. And this Christian Aid Week, we have had the chance to respond, though not in the normal way, through house-to-house collections. Charity begins at home, I hear it said, but it doesn't stop there. It's been great to hear about Captain Tom and his fundraising for the NHS, but it's good too to think beyond ourselves, to remember that the coronavirus and that climate change are global threats. We need to support communities less fortunate than ourselves and less well placed to deal with that coronavirus and that climate change. We need to be authentic, true to ourselves as children of God's world, a world of bounty and plenty, a world that sometimes strikes back at us, a world which we sometimes forget we are not in control of, as we've discovered painfully over the last few weeks. We need to remember our need for stewardship and care, including stewardship and care for each other, not just within our country, but beyond it too. I hope you'll join me in giving thanks for the wonder of God's world, perhaps in going online to support Christian Aid, and remembering that this is one world, a world in which we all share good times and bad, a world in which the coronavirus does not recognise national boundaries, where climate change affects every continent. We give thanks for God's world. May we have an authentic sense of our place within it and of our responsibilities to each other. Thank you.